Who are the CPC members? 91.91 million out of 1.4 billion Chinese people have joined the CPC. Being a CPC member is not a paid occupation, nor is it a political position in a professional sense. They are ordinary people. They stay true to their original aspirations in the factory, the field, the mountains and beyond. Guo Shuangchao was responsible for the construction of Beijing Daxing Airport, one of Beijing's designated hospitals to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. When visiting the steel jungle of Beijing, some people may only be impressed with the architecture alone. However, in his opinion, there is an extraordinary story behind each building.
On January 23, 2020, the day before Lunar New Year's Eve, I was returning home to visit my family when I received a call from the organisation asking me to return to Beijing immediately to take part in the construction of Xiaotangshan Hospital. At home, I finished dealing with my Spring Festival purchases, said goodbye to my parents and hurried back to Beijing. I arrived at the hospital construction site that evening. As a party member, I felt I should take the lead. It took 53 days to build the hospital, from the day before Lunar New Year's Eve to the 15th of March. In total, our group had more than 700 workers on site, and at the peak there were nearly 6,000 people. In all of this, we faced great difficulties. Most of the workers and managers involved in the project gave up the chance to see their families during the Chinese New Year, and we all stayed on site. In many cases, our managers and our workers take a bite of their boxed lunch and then find a place to grab some sleep. When we deliver a project to people, it must be of the highest standard and the client must be happy. Why do you have a pair of partitions on this side of the column? I've been in the industry for 15 years. I've been in the industry for 10 years, from 2011 to now. It's been 10 years since I started my career in 2011. It's hard and tiring, but there's still a great sense of accomplishment every time a building is completed. As a young party member and a young employee, putting up with hardships is a must and a very important aspect of one's learning progress.
Today, Guo Shuangchao is a leader of major building projects, but such an achievement has been built up day by day on the construction site since he graduated.
I've been involved in about a dozen projects in Beijing, both big and small. When I pass by some of them, there's a special feeling. It's a place where I've struggled and I have certain memories of. Moreover, some projects have brought sweat and tears. You go through things and you learn things. In a way, it's like raising a child. I was on the project from when I graduated until 2019. If you love this industry, if you're sitting inside rather than being on site, you just don't feel right. Hardships are nothing for me. In southern China, there was this project where if you were on site for an hour, your clothes were absolutely drenched. You had to change a couple of times a day, and you sweated like a pig. That's what the local climate was like. But you had to go to the site to do this work and to ensure the quality was up to scratch and to organise production. I'm very excited and proud every time I come to Daxing Airport, which is where I worked hard for 3.5 years.
While people marvel at the impressiveness of Daxing Airport, in Guo Shuangchao's eyes, the view of this landmark also conjures up memories of a wedding.
Every year in winter, a lot of young people in the team plan to get married. We'd talk about it with the project secretary. Why not hold a group wedding for them? After all, they rarely had time off. Then we planned a wedding for 5 couples on the construction site, a rather special wedding. The grooms wore our uniform and helmet, and the brides wore a matching wedding dress, including a special ring customized for them, an airport-shaped ring. I heard that foreign airports are generally built in 8 to 10 years. It took us just 3.5 years to complete. That's what I call a miracle. The construction of a city is one of the important symbols of a country's development. Every building in our country has a story behind it, one that talks of persistence, sadness and warmth. And I'm honoured to have my story bound up in them.
If you read the party's constitution, you'll find serving the people as the top priority of its members' obligations. CPC members in every field put collective interest before their individual needs, which is leading the Chinese people to contribute to the miracle of China's development. During its 72 years of governance, the party has eliminated the country's absolute poverty in the world's most populous country and positioned it as the second largest economy in the world. The Communist Party of China is determined by its history and the choices made by the Chinese people.